together meant a different thing, and each spot on the anvil meant a different area on the piece of metal. And since this was the thing he was hammering on, this became the hammer gauge to every piece of metal that was laid upon it. So wherever the master would tap upon the anvil, that's where he meant to do it upon the metal. So then finally in 1908 or 1910, that was when our whole wide world woke up and realized that the anvil was no longer just the blacksmith's tool, and the anvil was then adopted as a percussion musical instrument. And then you had the anvil choruses, which were made up of 5 to 50 anvils, all keyed differently. Most of your major orchestras, your bands, your symphonies, all had an anvil in them. But the plain one, it sounds a lot like wind chime, hammer dulcimer, bells, xylophone. Matter of fact, the xylophone was the instrument that replaced the anvil in the orchestra several years ago. No anvil made in our world today will chime this music chime, because all anvils today are either hydraulically pressed forwards or cast forward, and it must be dropped forwards under a 5,000 to 50,000 pound hammer to ring this bell chime. But anyway, I played this the other day, and the guy said, "I've got one thing to say." I said, "Well, what's that?" He said, "It sounds a lot better than that thing hanging out in the yard of my tree." But anyway, this is what it sounds like. But I hope that was a lot more interesting to you than watching the meal be made.
Yes, it was. Thank you very much.